Welcome, word listeners, to another great night of Max Living Radio, Dallas-Fort Worth. I am Dr. Rick Royston. This is Dr. Chris Kordick.
Good evening.
And we are here to bring you the truth about health and wellness and God's design for your body. And the truth is, God has created you with an amazing capacity to heal. He has placed inside of you the greatest doctor in the entire world. I know you may be thinking right now, but like, oh, we've got Southwestern and we've got Baylor and we've got all these great hospitals and doctors and some of the world-renowned doctors in our area. And you may be thinking, I love my doctor. But the truth is, there is nothing that man has created that is greater than what God has placed inside of you, that He has given you, a master control system, your brain, spinal cord, and nerves. He's given you these cells and organs and glands and this capacity to heal, to be well, and to change your outcome. So please know right now, your DNA is not your destiny, and that your situation does not have to be your future. You have the opportunity to change, and it all starts now with a decision. A decision. You draw a line in the sand. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you've tried, no matter where you've been, no matter how many times you've failed, now is the time to start something, move forward, and not go back. Don't look back. You know, I think so many times, Dr. Chris, we get that seed planted in our head. We start going forward, and we may have some, a little bit of victory, and so it kind of propels us a little bit. But there's always a stumbling block. There's always an injury that shows up, or a family member, or a crisis at work, or with your family, and it plants that seed, and we start looking back to where we've been, and we start falling back into old habits, and start remembering how many times we've failed, and how many times we've lost and fell off the bandwagon, and we fall back into old habits. And we get that. That happens to everybody, to be honest. That is just a normal part of life. But it doesn't have to always continue to play out like that. You can make decisions that will transform your future. Small decisions that add up to something great. We were having this conversation, my wife and I, and this girl from church the other day, and we were talking about how one decision can radically impact your life. And that's true. We can make one decision good or bad. And like making a phone call, calling one of our offices can radically change your life for the better and get healthy and get well that one moment. But the truth is, Dr. Chris, we have to continually make those small decisions over and over and over. And, all the years we've been doing this, I've heard you say this so many times. It's consistent, small decisions every single day, every single moment to try to get just a little bit better every day, over and over, day after day, year after year. And you will wake up one day and go, man, my life is just so much better than it was 6 months ago, 6 years ago, 16 years ago. When you continue to, it doesn't mean you're not going to fail sometimes, doesn't mean you're not going to fall off the wagon, doesn't mean there's going to be rough spots, but overall, it's going to be better, and that is the key. We want your life to be better. So the number's 877-778-6978.
It reminds me a lot of times I tell patients, when a patient first comes into care and they've got issues that are happening, a lot of times we have to see them for 2, 3, 4 months, and we're seeing them more intensely. They're coming in 2 or 3 times a week. And then you get to a point down the road, 3 or 4 months down the road, where we retake x-rays, we do progress exams, and we realize, okay, now the patient their x-rays have changed from here to here, their symptoms were here and now they're gone down to here, their pain is gone, their headaches are less frequent, they've started to lose weight, they've started to decrease medication, and it's like graduation day. And we start to tell them that, hey, this is the point where you're going to move into your wellness care. And at wellness care, for a lot of people, that looks like 1 time a week. And compared to coming in 3 times a week, like that should be easy. But then I always tell them, like, this is the hardest part of your care.
Right.
Because now is the part where you have to maintain it. It's like wearing the braces wasn't that hard because they were like strapped in your mouth, right? The retainer you can take in and out at your leisure. So that becomes very hard because now we have free choice that's involved with that. So it's the same thing that, just like he was saying, it's all these little choices that you make, that you just continually make, consistently make. And when you do mess up, when you do get off that path, how quickly do you get back on it? How long do you stay off the path soaking in I just failed. Like, and you just start soaking in this misery and telling yourself that you're a failure and you can't do it and all this other stuff. You got to get off that. You got to get yourself back on the path. Don't turn in the fast food joint. Don't, skip the gym. Don't skip your appointment to get adjusted or whatever the situation is. You get yourself back on your health track, on your health journey, because the consistency is really what's going to draw real health.
A couple of things with that real quick. There's a lot of studies that show that people who go through depressive states, that if they actually keep going to the gym, or they keep hanging out with their friends, or they keep being like social and doing the things that they need to do, that they actually get through that depressive state much faster, and they have less chance of it coming back.
That's huge.
Versus people that do wallow in self-misery. And there were some follow-up studies with that found out that relationships have a huge impact in that. So people around you, are they helping build you up? Are they helping you stay accountable? Are they people that pour into you and are a blessing to you and help you get better and better? And I think that's one key for your personal relationships, but also a key thing about our office.
Yep.
When you come in, like we're trying to help you. We want to be a part of your family, basically, to help be that encouragement, that accountability, that empowerment every single day to help you improve and get better and better.
Yeah, there's because it's the same. Like, so if I'm sitting there and let's say I have headaches and I'm a little bit overweight and I'm tired all the time, and then Dr. Rick, you're my friend, and you just sit here and tell me, well, that stinks, and but your dad has headaches too, and he's always tired, and it's just kind of maybe the way it's going to be, and
right.
And I'm always tired too, and I have headaches, so it's just everyone does,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Compared to us as your coach, as your doctor, when we're like this, it does not have to be this way. You are gonna live headache free. You're gonna have more energy. You're gonna lose that weight loss resistance, but you're gonna make these changes, and you're gonna stick to these changes, and your life is gonna transform. You need someone speaking health and healing and faith and positivity into your life, not people that are pulling you down, sucking you down, and just kind of wallowing in your own misery with
right.
you. You've got to get out of that, and being around positive people is something that can really help with that. I was thinking before the show, I was thinking of some testimonies, and one of them was a guy named Wes that came in, and he's in his 30s, and he had never had any chiropractic care. And so he comes in, and he has a headache that's been going on for like 3 months. It's been going on for 3 straight months, so 12 weeks. And he's had no relief from it. And he's taken the heavy hitting, prescription medications. He's taken every day. He's taken over-the-counter pain medications. The headache's still there. And so he was like, well, I'm just going to Google, chiropractic, because I've tried other things. Nothing's working. And I've had a friend or two tell me that chiropractic may work. So he Googled chiropractic. He said, you had great reviews. You were close to my office. So I'm going to try you out. So he came in, I started explaining to him, the stuff that you guys hear on the radio. You got to remember, this guy just came in off Google. Like, he had no idea, really what chiropractic was. And when I start telling him that, God made his body to heal his body, and that there's this intelligence inside of you, and that the brain communicates to every cell, tissue, and organ. And, when we specifically talk about headaches, it's because of a nerve interference or an artery type of issue that's in your cervical spine, those first 7 vertebrae in your neck. And so I started to explain that to him, and you could just kind of see his eyes, like, a little skeptical, but at the same time, like, kind of open to the idea that this could help. But, really, and he's like, what do I got to lose? Because I've had this headache and it's just miserable. And he's already has depression and anxiety and these kind of things too. So you can imagine, if you have a headache for 90 straight days and you're already depressed and have anxiety, is that going to make it better or worse?
Right.
That's only going to make it worse. It's only going to make you want to be around people less, that you're going to be less positive, that you're not going to want to get out of bed, when you already might struggle with these kind of things. So we started adjusting. He was probably 2 or 3 adjustments in when he was like, I haven't felt my headache in a few days.
Wow.
And so just a couple of adjustments in, and then as the months start to progress, we really start to get some changes in his spine, because just because the headache started to lessen, I had to make sure he understood this point, that the cause is still there. Like, we have to get some correction back in the spine, get some spinal stability, and then we're going to show you how to maintain it. And this is going to keep it from ever coming back, or coming back with the same vengeance that it was there for 90 straight days. That's not going to happen if we remove these interferences that are in there. And as I went through one of his reviews, he's like, I just can't believe like how much chiropractic has changed my life. And he's only been there at that point for probably 4 or 5 weeks. And he was saying that his anxiety was better. His depression was better. His mood swings were better. He was sleeping better than he'd ever slept. His range of motion, his posture. He's like, I just didn't realize that all of these things could happen from getting adjusted. And that's because he didn't know what chiropractic was. He didn't know what Max Living Care was. He didn't understand that there was this ability inside of his body to heal his body. He just never knew these things. But once we were able to get him in our office to show him what the situation was, he was able to really start to change his whole life when he just came in for a headache. And now, 2 months into care, everything is starting to change. Yeah. So that can be you. It's 877-778-6978. You already have a head start on Wes because you've heard this show. You already start to understand, some of the benefits that this can have for you. So it's 877-778-6978.
That's so powerful. I mean, just thinking about what could happen, what could be, what your life could be like. You hear these testimonies, and I think a lot of people wonder, like, well, that's not my exact situation. Like, could I really get there? The truth is, we all have this amazing potential to heal and to be well. And if you choose to ignore these warning signs, or you choose to ignore these words that we're talking about, if you choose to ignore these principles, you're never going to know. But I mean, think of it. Sometimes it's just worth the risk to step out in faith to see what God can do. Because the truth is, like you said, He gives us free will. We get to choose what we're going to eat. We get to choose whether we're going to exercise or not. You get to choose whether you're going to call the number or come into one of our offices. It's your choice. But by taking a step of faith, like, you get to see what God can do. And having an expectation that He's going to use us to heal your body. We have this couple, Marietta and Leo, and they've been patients in our office now for probably about 7-8 years, I guess. And he said, I never ever turn on the radio. He goes, I don't listen to the radio. Like, I just think it's a waste of time. And he said, but I was in my house and he was doing something like tinkering with something. He said, I just happened to turn on the radio and I heard you. And what you said made sense to me. He goes, but I just turned it back off. And he said, and then we were driving down the road a couple days later, and my wife turned on the radio, and it was you again. And he goes, I just thought, man, that's God speaking to me. Like, I need to call in. And now, like, Leo's 70 years old, but he looks like he's 50 and moves like he's 50 and acts like he's 50. Like, he's so much different. And his wife, too, like, their whole situation is so radically different. Their health is so much better, all because he understood that, you know what, God put something before me to take that step. It's kind of like you've heard that story, like there's a flood and somebody's on the roof and they're praying for an answer and like, God, help me, save me, and the boat comes by. And you're like, no, I'm praying to God to help me. He's going to save me. And then a helicopter comes by. You're like, no, I'm praying God's going to save me. And then, it ends up dying in the flood and gets to heaven's like, God, why didn't you save me? He's like, well, I sent you the boat and the helicopter and you didn't take what I gave you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes God's laying that path out before you. He's giving you the answer. He's trying to nudge you and help you. And you keep ignoring it and you think, I don't have the time to do that. The office isn't close enough. I don't know that I have the money to do this. Those are all great excuses that will keep you from living the life that you want. Those are great excuses that will keep you from being able to get healthy and well. And you can take hold of those and grasp hold of those tightly and never let go and end up sick, diseased, and suffering, and honestly, losing time and losing a lot more money because your body is sick versus just saying, hey, I'm going to take this step, going to see if they can help me, see if they can find the cause of my problem, and then think about the potential of what your life can be like, healthy and well, headache-free, pain-free, off medications, just enjoying life to a full extent. Because I promise you, it is way more fun to feel healthy and well and to be able to do the things you want to do than trying to accomplish those same things when you're hurting all the time, or you're sick, or you're having to end up in a doctor's office all the time. I kind of use Kristen as an example a lot, and I was talking about her in one of our recent episodes, but one of the cool things she said, when I was at my worst and she had missed her going to get her daughter's prom dress with her and being able to go to graduation for her kids, and she had missed all these events, but there was a kid that lived across the street that would come and help her, and he would help her like go get her mail for her or go get groceries and help her because she couldn't even leave the house. And she said, but now that I'm able to do these, she said he ended up having a car accident and had to fractured his pelvis, and he's on a walker and he was in a wheelchair for a while and just completely messed him up. And she goes, but now I'm healthy And now that I'm well and I can walk and do these things, she said, I get to go help him. She said, I'm going to go do things for him and checking his mail and helping him walk around. And all the things that he used to do for her, she goes, now I can do for him because I'm better. And she goes, when I was in that spot, I thought, this is going to be my life for the rest of my life. I'm not going to be able to take care of myself. I'm not going to be able to live on my own. I'm not going to be able to do these things by myself. And now, because her life is transformed, she's able to help other people. And that's the power of getting healthy and well.
That's good. Because I think so often, we see the patients come in and, and we've said this before, I say this, it's the fact of like, you can see their life better, but they can't see it yet.
Yeah.
You know that if they start to take care of themselves, that there is a life without pain. There is a life without discomfort. There's a life without headaches. There's a life without prescription medications or over-the-counter medications, or maybe it's allergies, or maybe it's ringing in your ears. Like there is a life without that, but you just haven't looked in the right places yet. And you think you've tried everything, you think no one has an answer for you, but you haven't ever tried corrective care, chiropractic, max living care. That's just something that you haven't done because maybe it hadn't made sense to you before today, or maybe no one's ever explained it to you the way we'll explain it to you. Or maybe no one's ever given you the faith that the power that made the body can heal the body, that this innate intelligence that God is putting inside of your body is designed to heal you, but you have to remove the interferences in order for it to heal you. So, we just want to speak life into you. We want to speak faith into you, not fear into you. We want to make sure that you understand that no matter what you're going through, there can be a positive, next day, a positive future, a day without pain, a day without headaches. Like that does exist. I promise you it does exist, but you have to break that mindset that you've been in. You've got to break the traditional medical model that you've been in that thinks that that's the only answer to your ailments. Like that's not. There's so many different therapies and things that people can do now in order for the body to heal without the use of opiates and without the use of drugs and pain medications and that kind of thing. So, we really just want to shed a light on that. And I want you just to kind of visualize and think about what would your life be like if you didn't have pain? Like what are the things that you would do? Would you play with your kids? Would you play with your grandkids? Would you actually get on the floor with them? Would you go for a run? Would you go to the gym? Would you be intimate with your spouse? Would you, want to, what was it that you would do if you didn't chronically have pain? And then you're sitting there thinking, well, there's all these things I would do, but like that couldn't happen. Like that's not going to happen. I've been in pain for so long. And I really just have to get you to the point where you got to let that go. You've got to realize that there can be a point where you don't have pain or discomfort anymore. There can be, and maybe let's be real. Maybe it doesn't go away completely. But what if the pain goes down from a 9 to a 6? I mean, seriously, what would that be like? Would that be positive? Would that be good? I mean, that right there can be absolutely life-changing for people, Dr.
Right.
Rick.
Oh, yeah.
There's people that, we say all these success stories because they happen in our offices of people getting off tons of medication and people being completely pain-free or headaches completely gone. And there's also the person that, like you said, can walk 1 mile and they're very happy about that. There's the person that, their pain does go down from a 9 to a 6 and they're no longer suicidal. They can get through the day finally, even though the pain is there, it's less. And it's not to say that 6 is not going to continue to go down. It just takes more time. Different people have different amount of damage to the spine. So just realize that there is life in your body. You got to unlock it. You got to figure out, how can I unlock this life, this healing, this health in my body? The way you can do that is by getting into one of our offices, getting your spine checked out, figuring out, is the body in the right position? Is your posture in the right position? Is your range of motion correct? Are you carrying your head out in front of your shoulders? Do you have a hunchback? Do you have rotated hips that are causing an issue? One leg that's shorter than another? All of these things, they affect your neurology. Your neurology is the most important thing in your entire body because it heals your entire body. So you have to have this checked. And a lot of you guys listening, you never had it checked. You never have any idea what's going on in there. So you got to get it checked. The number is 877-778-6978. That's 877-778-6978.
You also got this group of people that, they may have been to an orthopedist or they've been to their medical doctor. They've even been to a chiropractor, a physical therapist, and they've looked at x-rays and they're like, well, we don't really see anything wrong there, even though there's massive amounts of misalignment or arthritis or whatever, and they've been told that that's normal, and so you think that you can't get better, or that that's not even the cause of your problem. And just because someone has told you that does not mean that that is accurate or true. It may just mean that they don't know how to deal with it, that they don't know what the answer is, and so it's just disregarded. It's thrown out. But the truth is, if when we look at x-rays, if we see arthritis or we see that there's misalignment there, then 100% that is affecting your neurology. It's affecting your cells, your organs, your glands, how your body functions and heals. And to be honest, like when you look at the nervous system, you have to realize only 6% of your nerve fibers actually carry pain. So when you get to the point and you are having pain and it's coming from your spine, that means it's affecting so much else in your body, and you cannot just ignore that. And, you know, we could probably sit here for weeks straight and just go over testimony after testimony after testimony of people getting well. But this is about you. Like, you're listening right now and you're wondering, is this for me? Can I get healthy? Can I feel better? Can I get rid of my symptoms? And you're never going to know until you make the call. You know, it's one of those things. It's an easy call, you know, and you start asking questions, and you're wondering how your insurance is going to factor in, and how many weeks you're going to have to come in 3 times a week, or twice a week, or once a week, or how long this is going to take for you to feel better. And you know, you could come up with so many different questions and excuses in your head. But if you decide that you want something, you have to decide, what are you willing to sacrifice to get there? You know, it's just like losing weight. People say, well, I'm going to start cutting out carbs. Okay, so you're willing to sacrifice carbs to lose weight. Or I want to work out. Okay, so you're going to sacrifice that time throughout the day to go work out and go to the gym. Or I want to build a relationship that's broken with my children. Okay, so you're going to carve out time out of your day. You're going to sacrifice some time from somewhere else to go and make sure that you're pouring into your kids. Everything that you want requires a sacrifice of something. If it's important enough to you, you will find the time. You will find the resources to make it happen. You guys, that's what's so crazy too. You know, I get people sacrifice to be patients in our office, but the amount of time and the amount of money that it really takes to get healthy and well, honestly, is nothing compared to a lifetime of sickness and disease.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But even when you start narrowing it back, like what it costs for people to go to the movies. You know, before the show, you know, we were talking about how much it costs to like get a babysitter and just go to the movies.
Yep.
And it's like people spend so much on entertainment and the here and now, and just trying to fulfill some kind of like happiness in the moment, and not thinking about what your life could be like. You know, I mean, I honestly, Dr. Chris, like I know like times in my life where I'm not taking care of my health. I'm not eating healthy. I'm not exercised. And how it's this burden knowing that I need to do better, versus when I am exercising, when I am eating healthy and I am getting adjusted, I'm doing the things I need to do. It's this burden that's gone. It's not an extra weight. It's almost this freedom.
Yep.
And I feel like, wow, my mental state is so much better, and I feel so much more optimistic about life, and have hope, and knowing that I don't have to think about taking care of those things. That's just a normal part of my routine now, and I can actually work on other things to improve on in my life.
And when you're there too, like you're a better dad, you're a better husband, you're a better employee, you're a better business owner. I mean, like whatever it is, you can do all these things with so much more vigor in life.
Yeah.
Because you're taking care of yourself, and you're the best version of yourself at that point.
Right. You know, a good example of this, and I was reading this the other day. So the CEO of Twitter, I don't remember what podcast he was on, is Tim Ferriss or somebody like that, but he was talking about certain routines that he's got into recently. And so he does the infrared sauna and ice bath every day now. And he also does intermittent fasting. And on weekends from Friday night until, if it's Sunday night or Monday, he actually doesn't eat at all. He just does water.
Okay.
And he's doing like a couple hours of meditation a day. And you think somebody that's the CEO of Twitter, like he's got to invest a lot of time into his company and to, you know, promote, you know, all the things that go along
Taking
with that.
all different directions.
Right. But he's taken this time out of each day, and he said, I've become so much more of a clear thinker, and so much more focused on what I need to get done. And these things that used to control me, like food, what I was going to eat next, where I was going to eat, you know, am I going to enjoy what I'm eating? He goes, that stuff started to go away, and I became way more focused on making clear decisions in my business and relationships and all these things. And it was actually super cool to see, because when you focus on these things, it really does help you become better at so many different aspects, and you can just devote the time and energy and attention to that. And guys, it's the same thing here. You're trying to get through your day. You're trying to get up and go to work and get home and get to soccer practice and clean your house. Like, guys, the CEO of Twitter is no more important or better than you. Their job is really honestly no more harder than your life. Like, we're dads, business owners. Like, it's tough just to get through the day sometimes, right? But the truth is, when you focus on your health, when you start to take these steps, your life will be better. And you're going to see these drastic improvements in every area and changes that will propel you to continue to get better and better and better. But it really starts with understanding how your nervous system works and how everything that happens inside of your body is directly connected and related to your brain communicating with your body. And when you start to get adjusted, there is this powerful action steps and this action potential that happens inside, from increasing your immune system to increasing oxygen in your body to balancing chemicals and hormones to allowing organs and glands to function better. All these things start happening just right off the bat with each adjustment. And so again, the number is 877-778-6978.
So when you come in, when you call the number, it's going to be a $40 deposit over the phone. And when you make that $40 deposit, that is going to cover the initial exam, the consultation. If we need to take x-rays, there's a separate fee for that. We will go through that with you depending on how many x-rays we need to take and if we even need to take them. So as we walk you through that whole process, more than likely, we're going to take some x-rays and we're going to figure out specifically what problems are in your spine, how long has it been there, how can we help you? Are these issues, are these problems in your spine, are they correlate to the symptoms that you're having? So if you have headaches, if you have numbness and tingling, if you've got diabetes or thyroid issues, whatever the situation is, constipation, if you have these issues, does it correlate to the areas of the spine where you have damage to it? If so, how can we remove those interferences to correct the cause to allow your body to function and heal correctly? So we'll walk you through that whole process. We'll show you normal x-rays, abnormal x-rays. We'll show you your x-rays. We'll lay out a plan of attack. We're going to show you how long it takes, how much it costs, what the process is going to be to get you well. So everything will be laid out for you, and you just have to show up. You just have to make it happen. You got to watch your life transform, and it's all because you made the call. The number is 877-778-6978. That's 877-778-6978. This is Max Living Radio. Dr. Chris Gordick in McKinney. Dr. Rick Royce in Plano. God bless you.
Come on, man.
What good shows. What good shows.
How can you stop this?